Good morning, hello, and welcome into the Eric St. Show podcast, the daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day of the work week from the Impact Power Sports Studio. Look at that hair. That is so fantastic. I am so lucky to be seeing it right now. You all are probably swooning like, oh my God, look at him. Oh, look at him. You're welcome. You're welcome. I actually started this. I sat down with my typical winter cap on, and I said, I need to give these people what they desire, and that is to see magnificent hair. Magnificent hair. Thus, I went to work. You know that I work for you. It is my life's goal to make you all happy. Chris says I'm going gay for EZ. Yeah, I know. I'm going gay for EZ. My God. Paul says, what's new in the Eric St. Show podcast world? I've been mostly absent for a couple of months. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Welcome back. I would like to, honestly, if there isn't anything new, that's normal. Typically, I don't have a lot new happening in the Eric Zane Show podcast world. But I will say this. Here it is, February 7th. Hang on a second. I'm concerned about something. Hey, knock it off. This mic was making some funny noises, which means it needs to get smacked. Not the mic, the processor. One of these days, I'll buy a new one of those machines. By the way, I guess I'm piecing together through context that our beloved Sarah has perhaps COVID. It says, I'm feeling okay, no smell or taste. But other than that, all right. I'm guessing by the no smell, no taste, it could be COVID related. I hope you recover quickly. Today's February 7th. 8 years ago today, I was like, uh-oh. The end is near. This is it. This is the big one. They are done with me. Because it was on February 5th. Let me back up even further. February 4th. The evening of February 4th. That was a Wednesday. The Grand Rapids Drive at the time were taking on the Idaho Stampeders, I think, at the world-famous Deltaplex. The shot clocks malfunctioned. The ref comes over to me and says, we can't get the shot clock to work. I go, yeah, wow, thanks for the update. No, I'm telling you because you have to have a stopwatch. And when there's, it resets at 24 seconds. And then when it gets down to 10 seconds, you have to count down 10 seconds. 10, 9. And it was so embarrassing. It doesn't sound that embarrassing to say it like that, but it was so awkward. So I'm like, are you kidding me? I go, no, seriously. So first couple of times, I fucked it up. The coaches yell at me. What are you doing? I'm like, God damn it. All right. I'll figure this shit out. So then I'm just sitting there looking at the damn stopwatch right in my face. I'm not even watching the game. It was ridiculous. During that period of time, Joe Langlois, who owned that shit box building, tries to fix the clocks. And I described him as lowering the rim like the hydraulics so he could get access to the clock, and he almost lowered it down on a player's head. And then he couldn't get the fucking thing to work, so I blamed him. He was the one. Oh, this guy who runs a place is walking around looking like he's lost, wearing his dungarees. Oh, my God, I couldn't believe it. And that's about, I mean, I didn't call him a fucking asshole or anything like that. I was just expressing my frustration. Well, that's it. That's all it took. That's all it took. And the next day, Thursday, I'm telling that story. The story was kind of like a throwaway. We needed to buy a little time. Wasn't a big deal. Hey, I got to tell this story. I had to count down the shot clock. Oh, okay, great. Show ends. I'm fucking doing what I do. Sit around waiting to go home. And Russ Hines comes walking in, the general manager. And this dude was such a pussy. He is such a pussy. He comes walking in and he goes, hey, I'm going to get a call. What are you talking about? Hold on a second. Darla's getting ready to hump O'Neill. What the hell are you doing, Darla? Poor O'Neill. He doesn't move a muscle. Okay, now I guess she's going to fall asleep on him. Can you imagine if you're sound asleep and your sister or brother just lays on top of you and you're expected to not move? Well, I'm going to get a call. Why? And you could talk to Russ like that. Why? Well, you picked on Joel there. You said some pretty awful things. I go, I did not. I said his pants look silly. And, oh my God, that's, who cares? I'm just saying. Yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's totally cool. Well, yeah, okay. If you say so. Time passes. Fuckface Joel calls. All right? And he's complaining about me. Now, the way they described it, because Russ calls me at 3 p.m. on that Thursday. I'm getting sick and tired of cleaning up your messes. He's so mad. He's pulled all his advertising, and he's furious. We're banned from the Intersection because that dude also owned the Intersection nightclub. I'm like, okay. You be in my office Friday morning as soon as the show's done. Okay. This is on the 5th of February. But I see him before the show is done. I see him at like 8 a.m. He goes, okay, I want you to go on the air and do a heartfelt apology for the hurt that you've caused. You go and you apologize for being so mean. God damn it. So I go in there. I do the apology. Everybody's looking at me like I'm an idiot. We've got some audience member who's sitting in there. Like, had won a sit-in with the show. Ray Bentley from the Buffalo Bills comes in right after that. We talk like Super Bowl or something like that because the Super Bowl was about to happen. The one that Peyton Manning won with Denver. That ends. I go sit down with Russ, and then all the other members of the show come in, and they all just proceed to berate me. Oh. You're going to get us fired. You're going to this. I'm like, God damn. I didn't go on the air and say the N-word, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. I knew I was fucked. Deep down, I knew I was fucked up. All right, you're suspended for 1 week. No pay. And then we'll reassess. All right. So that was bad. Went home that Friday. Friday happens. Saturday happens. Sunday happens. I don't hear a word. Nobody. Monday happens, Tuesday happens, Wednesday happens, Thursday happens, Friday happens. I think there was a conversation with the Burn King somewhere in there. And that's when he opened up with, oh, yeah, it's more than just this. For a long time, you have made a dark cloud in that studio. You are the dark cloud. Okay. Friday, Russ calls. Yeah, come on in. We got to have a word. And then I put on a suit. I wandered in there. Why are you wearing a suit? I go, I don't know. I'm going to get fired. I figured I'd dress up like a man. I sit down. He fires me. That's that. That happened on the 12th of February. You know, I was like, well, why didn't you just fucking fire me? Why did I have to wait? That was probably the worst. Waiting that whole week, the 7 days. Oh my God. It was so bad. So that goes. God, what the fuck? What was I going to talk about next? About that. There was some spectacular moments. Oh. So then they say, all right, here's your hush money. Sign this and accept the hush money, and you can never speak of this again. I did not. I said, keep your fucking money. Greg and Chris had to buy me out of the syndication, which wasn't bad. It was a sizable amount of money. 60 days later, I was back on the air. It could have been 30 days, but it was actually not enough time to get ready. And then that meant Michael Gray had to lose his job again. And off we go. Off we go on WBBL. During that time off, I did the video podcast, I guess, which, honestly, I was convinced that I was going to be doing a podcast at that point in time. I went and purchased a lot of the equipment that I use right now. I was like, well, I guess I'll just do a podcast. I don't have any idea about how I do it, but I'm going to. That's all I know how to do. And then all of a sudden, Cumulus came through and said, hey, we actually want to try to put you on. Okay, great. The rest is history, because during those 2 months away, everything was fine with Greg and Chris. And there's a couple other nuances that are too silly to get into, and I barely remember now. The day that I was to start at BBL, Greg reached out to me and said, hey, good luck today. I'm like, thanks. Now, I knew absolutely that what I was going to say was going to piss them off. All right. Now, all I did was told the sequence of events from my standpoint, how either they happened or how what happened affected me. And, this was not good. They went bonkers. There was a couple key moments that they were like, oh, no, this is going to be awful. And it should have been, because it was. And then they're like, all right, we will respond later. Steve sent me this text calling me a liar. Like, I'm not fucking lying. What the fuck are you talking about? And that was that. There was no lying whatsoever. It was all 100% true, everything that I said on the air at the time. What they didn't like the most was the idea that they didn't have my back. And they're like, oh, well, we had his back before when he did this and when he did that. And when he did, it's like, well, yeah, you're goddamn right you should. I had my back. I had Hot Wings back all those times that he was about to get fucking fired. It was more than once. And the thing is, it was horrible because Hot Wings was about to be fired because he sucked. Pemberton was going to fire him for that on 94.5 or 97.5 and 105.7 The Hawk. He was going to get fired for that. And Greg himself wanted Hot Wings to take a massive pay cut because he felt Hot Wings didn't do enough. I remember where I was when he told me that. And I go, I want you to kick that can down the road. That would really, really fuck a lot of shit up. Let's not do that. And I talked 3 different entities out of that for that motherfucker. 3 times. And so, yeah, you're goddamn right you should have my back. So the audience did not like that. And then when I described that when I was really struggling with the mass, that's when I was introduced to anxiety. I'm trying to get somebody to talk to me, and no one would talk to me. I couldn't get anybody to fucking return my phone call. Hold on, my hair's fucked up. Gotta make sure it's perfect. So I couldn't get anybody to fucking call me. And then when I described that, and then when I described Greg saying to me that I am a dark cloud in the studio with that dramatic thing, it's like, oh, fuck you. God damn. Patrick says, I feel like Russ Hines. Russ Hines was The Rock and Easy is Cody Rhodes, and that asshole tried to steal your WrestleMania moment. I'm not sure about that. Adam says, yeah, but you made fun of a sponsor. You made fun of a sponsor's pants, of course. Linda's trying to look up the email that she sent to Russ. So as soon as I went on the air on BBL, that was, okay. Now we are fighting. And the war continues to this day. It had cooled down quite a bit, but it still continues to this day. They are in a fantastic mode now where they are really avoiding any type of comment about me. They're like, oh, he's irrelevant. Which is true. I am in their world. So it's not worth their time. But it's still fun to go back and relive. And then the question is often asked me, Easy, if you were given the opportunity to go back there, would you? And honestly, I probably would. Not because of any other real good reason other than I just want to live it. I just want to actually, I would wonder what that would be like under the premise that who knows where this could wind up. It would be like an absolute unknown. It would be incredibly entertaining. Because what I do does not fit at all with the way of the world. Had I remained on there and nothing had happened, I would have been fired anyway. There's no way that I survive on that show over the last 8 years. None. Oh, no. No. Corey says go back just to fuck with them. That would be great. You're right. Go in there like, I'm going to burn this fucker down. One way or another, I'm burning it down. Great idea. Fantastic idea. Chris says, every time I hear Russ's Weasley voice on the radio, I think of the impression. Eric! Russ was just on the radio with my friends at Wood Radio on iHeart. And I actually had Russ on during my time at BBL, which I kind of want to fucking shoot myself in the face over that. Russ was such a dork. Is such a dork. Oh, my God. Holy shit. So then, as it goes, I actually got fired on the 12th. 13-14 is Saturday, Sunday. They give me a document that says I have a certain amount of time to respond with what I want to do, 7 days, and then, so it's been 2 days. And depending on what I say, if I say, well, yeah, you can say that I just retired and quit. This is the political wrangling that goes on behind the scenes. Okay, Easy. Are you going to say that you retired from our show? You resigned? We need to know what you're doing. This is Greg. And I go, what do you mean? This is on Sunday. I got fired on Friday. Yeah, what's your decision? I go, well, I don't know yet. Yeah, well, we got to go on the air. This is actually Monday because Monday was President's Day. We got to go on the air Tuesday. What are we going to say? And I said, I don't know what you're going to say. I don't work there anymore. Ask your boss. Well, yeah, but I mean, here we are. You were fired on Friday. You got to make a decision whether you resigned or you were fired. And I said, well, I don't have to make a decision. I've got 7 days to decide. Russ calls me, asks me the same question. I go, again, I haven't put much thought into it. I had a relaxing weekend, and I haven't thought about what I'm going to do. Who the fuck gives me the option to take my time in my decision and then tries to hurry my goddamn decision along? The nerve of both of you pieces of shit for even calling me, asking me what I'm going to do to affect your decision and how you're going to handle me not being at the radio station. I don't know. Put your thinking caps on, children. Then I heard from my lawyer, the Italian. He calls me up and says, yeah, this isn't just 7 days. You have 30 days. This has been misinterpreted and misread. You have 30 days from the date of your firing to decide whether you're going to announce your resignation. And then I called Russ back. I go, furthermore, and I tell him that, and he's silent. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. I go, yeah, read your shit. You're the one who gave it to me. Then on so Monday they go, oh yeah, we're gonna take President's Day off. They're buying themselves time to try to figure this shit out. Tuesday they show up and they make the big announcement, and I think they, it's the old Eric Zane and our parent company have parted ways. It was really, really bad, really weak. And then, kind of all hell broke loose. And I'm not going to lie to you. That was very energizing to see the amount of, support. That was the last time I felt that support. I'm kidding. I could sit here and go through every single moment of that and how I was feeling. But I think one of the things that stands out the most to me was when I sat down in my kitchen and there was a camera on me and I did my first little video podcast for like 20 minutes. And I don't know, it felt good to sit there in front of the camera and chit chat with you. And I thought, I could get used to this. Honestly, when Cumulus said we want you on, I was like, okay, yeah, I think I can do that, but I still want to do this podcast. They would not allow me to do that for some reason. Megan says, I tried to sponsor that shit show. You shot me down. I did? You mean the video podcast? By the way, how do you really feel in describing what I was doing as the shit show? I mean, I enjoyed those. Do you remember earlier in this when I said that I liked that? You can't sit. What the fuck? I mean, I realize ADHD, but do I look at the stuff you do in your world and describe it as a shit show? No. My God. Megan says, I wanted to be in the kitchen. I actually love that podcast so much. I was butthurt. All right. Adam says, how I knew you were gone over that weekend. Number 1, Pat Collins said so. Number 2, you were scrubbed off of the Free Beer and Hot Wings website. God damn it. Ben told the story about he was sitting behind Steve in that studio when he was going through and like deleting my name off when you go through the website the back way and change the script on whatever it says, he was deleting it all, and Ben's like, oh my God, what am I seeing here? But it all worked out. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I thought we did a damn good show on BBL. I loved the show on BBL. Kuipers says I hated Eric when he started at WBBL. That would be Matt Kuipers, I think. Megan says I'm going to have anxiety. I love you. I know you do. Relax. So that was it was weird though, because 6 days after starting that BBL show, because I handpicked Kyle. Oh, it's Kevin Kuipers. You hated me, Kevin Kuipers? Oh my God. I called Kyle up when I was planning that show. And I go, hey buddy, this is going to be great. I've always loved your wit. You're easy to talk to. Let's do a show together. We're going to hire you on BBL. Really? Yeah. It's your big break. Now, at that point in time, I had no idea that when Kyle moves, he has to inform the Michigan State Police. I had no clue that that was a thing. We went over to, what the fuck's the name of that Mexican joint on 44th Street? Cabo Wabo, La Senorita, Cancun's. And we kind of plotted it out. It was me, Diana, Kyle, and his wife. I'm like, we're going to be the next big power duo in radio. It's going to be incredible. Show signs on. I start crying on the air because I was describing how when I wanted to like kill myself, and how frightening that was. Told that story. Thought it was awesome. Heard from Steve. He called me a fucking liar. 6 days later, I get a message that says, yeah, you might want to rethink having Kyle on your show. Here's why. What? Oh. Corey says, weird that Steve seems to have no issues with Kyle. Yeah, I wish I could be a fly on the wall. Go back in time and be a fly on the wall if that was ever discussed. If it was, or is it just ignored? Am I just, oh yeah, EZ's line. Really? Really? 6 days after. 6 days after I get that message on Messenger, race down to Cartwright's office. Oh. Race back up to my office. Kyle is fucking gone. He's like left the building. And that was the last time he was ever in the building. Oh. That was ugly. Now, I'm not saying that had he stayed there, that show would have survived. Okay? It probably wouldn't have. I firmly believe that whatever is on or was on 107.3 just struggles. And it might have something to do with way down on the end of the dial. I don't know. But 107.3, that spot on the actual radio frequency in this, where we are, has never done well. Whatever radio station you put on there, whatever format, there's always been a huge pile of shit for ratings. It just, I mean, on BBL, we actually had higher ratings than the music that they have now on there. They have like a country station on there now, and no one has ever listened to it, ever. Hi, what's going on there? I thought for sure that when they put it onto country, that it would do well, but no, it hasn't done anything. And that was 5 years ago. That that it's been, hell, I'm working on my 6th year sitting in this fucking studio talking to you people. Seems to work. I'll take it. Beats working. Ben is here. He says the day we did the rap battle was the best radio ever. I cannot wait for that to show up on the Lost Zane recordings. The rap battle with that dude. What was the name of that square? Was it Joe? Who we had this dude who was he worked at Cumulus. I think his name was Joe, and this dude was such a square. And we had him like sit in for a week, and we decided to do for some reason we stumbled upon the idea of having a rap battle. And this dude Joe wrote sensual poetry. And he had some song that he made where the line was, I drink iced tea and complain a lot. Kuiper says, on the last episode, Russ had gotten fired. So the time was September of 2017 on that show. And I guess, Kuipers, I'm calling you because I got to hear how we described that. Why can't I see your goddamn phone? Do I not have your phone number? Is it saved as Cutie Patootie? Here we go.
Hold on, let me get off. Hello?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the work day for you.
No, you're good.
I know you're a big wig at the company, so it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want.
I wish I was.
On the Lost Zane recordings, Russ had gotten fired?
Yeah, from where he was working with Free Beer and Hot Wings over there. He got fired.
At Town Square.
Yep, and then it was also the time that the guy over at Cumulus, I believe it was, had a stroke.
Oh, that would be Jack and Ed.
Yep.
So that all happened on the same episode, or like in a series of episodes?
Nope, same episode on the Sudden Death podcast.
Oh my God! Did I talk any shit about Russ?
No, you were clean, and you were actually going to call him. I don't know if that ever happened.
What? What an asshole!
That's what you said. So I'm waiting to hear if you ever even called him.
I think eventually he made his way into our studio because he bought the, what do you call it, the Riverbank run. He actually bought the race. He's the race, like he owns the race, I guess.
Oh, it's that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I did not even know that.
Same guy. Same guy.
That's crazy. All right, well, I got to get back to work. I'm pulling a customer's order. They're going to get mad at me.
All right, tell the customer I love him.
All right, bye.
Story of my life. I get a guy on. He says, yeah, I can't talk to you anymore. That's our very own Cutie Patootie.
Oh, my God.
Fuck, man. I'm fucking hammered.
Megan says, back up. Russ owns the Riverbank run. Yes. I don't know. I guess he saved up his pennies, bought it, and he didn't buy it because he likes running or anything like that. He figured he could like sell marketing for it, you know. All right. This trip down memory lane, I think, concludes. You know me, though. These stories just pop into my head from key moments that we had, like Ben bringing up the rap battle Stupid. All right. If you're watching the show on Facebook, X, and YouTube, thanks so much for being here. I always enjoy the more the merrier. But the rest of the show, uninterrupted, is on Twitch. So download the Twitch app and search Eric Zane Live, all one word. And that's how you can watch the rest of it. Megan, do you want me to call you now or after the show? I can call you now. Let me know. I just saw your message. The audio podcast shows up wherever you download shows. Ding. I'll call you later. And, of course, my Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. I forgot to mention that Dear Meathead happens in 22 minutes. So if you have something you'd like to ask Dad, you can email the Shoreliner Striping inbox, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Back to Patreon. Sign up for 7 days free. It's scrolling right at the bottom there. Sign up for 7 days free. Patreon.com/Eric Zane.